Hello and welcome to another episode of Talon Talk. Today we have a very special guest, but because of the nature of today's interview, we are protecting the guest's identity. This is one of our students on campus, but we will not be showing their face or anything like that. So I wanted you to be aware of that on the front side of this interview. It'll be a little different than what we've done before, but this is a story that needs to be told. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest today. Her name is Cynthia, at least for the purpose of this interview. Miss Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I just want to jump straight in and let everybody get to know you. Can you give us your story? Where did you come from and some background?
So, I am from Rwanda. I've been here for 9 years, and I've attended for Southwest for now. This is my second year, and I'm planning to transfer in the fall. Don't know where yet, but there's a plan so far. And yeah,
So you're from Rwanda. What brought you to the United States?
so my parents sent me here for education and a better future. Rwanda is a great country. It has a lot to offer, but education wise, the states kind of outdo it. And my home life, it was pretty good. We were comfortable, but my parents had a rough upbringing themselves, so they thought us leaving home was what's best for us. So
So let's talk about your parents' upbringing. Um, can you kind of tell me the story of your parents? Because that's really where the amazing story lies, is in the story of your parents. So do you mind giving us some background on your
okay,
parents?
yeah. So my mom, I'll start with my mom. So my mom came from a family of 6 kids. Um, and her parents obviously, but there was a genocide in my country. Her parents were they didn't make it. My mom saw her mother get killed, and she had to cover herself with like her mother's body. So that's a lot of trauma for one, and she also got like hit in the head. So like she lost her memory for a while. She had to relearn how to do everything, and her brother had joined the army to help, work with the country to get the country to where it was in the army, and he got killed. So that's also something that really, you know, upset her. And also, to where when the genocide happened, everybody was just trying to, stay alive, stay safe. So everybody went everywhere, different places, you know. And she separated from her siblings for a while. For a while, so that's kind of my mom's story. My dad came from a family of 7 kids. And he's the only one alive right now, and his parents also died during the genocide. Um 6 of his siblings did get killed during the genocide, and there was one who survived, but she was taken, like cancer got her, so she died that way. So that's kind of my parents' story. And like the battle wounds also like took a while to heal, and for them to like get over the fact that it actually happened, because like I mean they were also young when it actually happened, so they had to learn to like live on their own, figure out what the world is like without their parents, without like they didn't have much background with, you know
Hmm.
their own life.
That's a lot of trauma.
Hmm.
That's a lot to grow up. Especially, how old were your parents during the genocide?
um my mom must have been 14 going to 15. My dad was 17, 18, around that age.
So the age of our students are younger on
Mhm.
campus. If you're a traditional age student,
Mhm.
that would be that would be a lot for an adult, a fully mature adult to
Mhm.
process, much less somebody in their teenage
Yeah.
um, mind. So, out of all that tragedy, um, for those of you that know Cynthia, you know that she is like bubbling with joy all the time. That's probably the word that best describes Cynthia. So, where does that come from?
I'll say, like, yes, did my parents have trauma from whatever, like the genocide or whatever, but they did try to not put that on us, you know? So we were raised as Christians. So my mom always said, whether we're here or not, you have a heavenly Father. So rely on Him for everything, you know? So, like, whether I'm sad or not, like, any day, like, can I talk to my parents every day? Really? Yes. But, like, I feel like God is really my first source of happiness. I'll say that. And second, I try to stay positive, because according to what my parents went through, I have no reason to be sad. I literally have everything I need, you know. I have them in my life. I have friends. I have family. I even have family here in the States. Like, been here for a while that I technically have a family here too, you know. So, like, try to be positive because I have way too much for me to not be like grateful and not be happy, you know? So, yeah.
This is a question that I ask every guest.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you.
Mhm.
Um, I think I know the answer, at least partially, to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you had to pick the three most important people, most influential people on your life, who would that be?
Mm, God, you know. He's literally we we have everything. Like, if we read the Bible, we literally find everything we need. And he came to this earth and taught us so much in a span of only like a couple years, you know. My parents, I can't go without saying both of my parents and my grandma. I never really got to meet her, but everything I heard about her and everything she did while she was alive, I'll have to get her as an influential person in my life.
It's amazing the legacy
Mm-hmm.
that she has built, that has carried over
Mm-hmm.
to you. Um, you're you've been in the States for 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
9 years, and so that's a big chunk of your life at this point. Um, when you finish with your education, what's your plans?
So I'm into nursing right now. I wanna continue and get my nurse practitioner so I can open my own clinic at home to help people who dealt with the same thing my parents dealt with, the trauma from the genocide. And necessarily it doesn't have to be just the genocide, but really any trauma, like a trauma clinic type of thing, because I really saw how it influenced like my parents and all the things they had to go through, and it's not very big in my country. Really, mental health is not like a huge thing that is done in my country, let alone trauma. So I want to open a clinic for survivors of the genocide and like their kids, because honestly, I feel like the genocide people who went through the genocide and their kids, like a generation after them, did kind of experience something similar, because like certain parents really did put the trauma on their kids. So I feel like they also need help.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who could need help from such thing. Yeah.
And that's one of the other astounding things about your story is that your parents kind of held that trauma from you, kept
Mhm.
that from you, so that way you would not have to carry that weight.
Mhm.
Um, the idea of going back and helping folks is just awesome. You're an inspirational person
Thank you.
from the story on. Now, we've talked about personal, right? So
Mhm.
we talked about the most influential people in your life.
Mhm.
If you had to pick a professional mentor, somebody, whether it be a teacher, here we have a strong advising staff, whether it's somebody from high school, who would you pick?
Can I say multiple people?
Absolutely.
Okay. So starting with high school, um, I still talk to her to this day. She's very, she's a very strong person in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Miss Berry, but she was with me through like the teenage years, when you're changing, you're experiencing everything till this day. And she stuck by my side. She never gave up on me, you know. So that's one person. And she taught me so much just in the span of 4 years that I lived with her, that like I'm forever indebted to her. And then when I got here, Miss Nayoka. Miss Nayoka till this day, she's just, I don't even know how to describe her. I love her. She's such an awesome person. And then I wouldn't say this even if you're here. You know, I didn't really get to know you till this year, but you've done a number in my life, which is a good thing. I usually don't open up to people, and you got me to do that. So it's very rare. So, Chris to you. And then I'll say Chris too. I mean, I spend a lot of hours in his office. So I got to know him. He got to know me. So I think those four people.
I'm honored that I'm in your four.
Don't try it.
Don't try it.
No.
So, we always have this segment on every Talon Talk, right? Where we don't have a soapbox for you to get up and tell us all your woes and the things you dislike, but we do have a squawk box since we're Eagles. And so, get up on your squawk box and tell us what your biggest pet peeve is.
I have multiple though.
Top 3.
Ooh, that's hard.
If you need to do a Mount Rushmore and do a top 4, that's fine too.
Okay, I might do that.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Outside clothes. Anything outside, anything that hasn't been in the room sanitized on my bed. Like, gets me. I mean, I wipe my phone down every single night before I go into bed. Like, nothing touches my bed from the outside. It's forbidden. Okay? And when people do it, it's such a big pet peeve. Such a huge pet peeve. Oh my goodness. The second one. I'll have to go with feet. Feet in my like I just don't like feet. It's a pet peeve when I tell people like don't touch me with it. They try to joke with like around. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it. You don't want to see my my bad side. Don't do it. Third, people touching or breathing around my food. It just gets me.
That one must have struck a real nerve because
It gets me. It gets me. It's just like, get your own plate, put it on your plate, and then you can touch it, you can sniff it. I don't care. But like, if it's a plate that we're sharing, or like, it's like multiple people are gonna touch it, you shouldn't do that. It's just like, think about it. Everything, like, I can't. Yeah, those. I think I'm gonna go with those 3.
Those 3? Top 3? Top 3. Don't like germs, right?
I'm a very big germaphobe.
I picked up on that. Picked up on that. So 2 years at Southwest. That's the typical time for students. In those 2 years, can you give us like your favorite, most funny memory?
That's hard because the first year I was very much to myself. So I technically have only this year to choose from, and there's been a couple. I'll say, in Chris's office, a lot goes on in there. I know you know.
You're right.
A lot goes in there. So I think hanging out in Chris's office in general has been, a highlight of this year for me.
I love it.
You're there pretty often and you've seen it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Highlight is a great word. That's a good choice of words.
It is.
Good choice of words. So, quick question.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show started. You're listening to several podcasts right now. What are you listening to?
Hold on. You have to give me a second on that one. I know. Don't know which one I should put you guys on. Okay, there's this one called Church Boy Confessions. And I found it randomly. Like, I listen to a podcast every single day. So that one, I was looking for something that is not too long, that is not too short, that speaks to me, and is just, And Church Boy Confessions, he's just like, I believe he's in college. And he also does like Sunday school and stuff. And I don't know why, but like, I get him. You know, it's a great podcast. You should listen to it if you got time.
Church Boy Confessions. Okay, I'll put that on my list.
Put it on your list.
You should put Talent Talk on your list
Okay.
to listen to.
Okay.
It's been pretty good so far.
I got you.
If you were going to pick a different career path other than the direction that you're going, what is something you would like to try?
Speech pathology.
Speech pathology.
Yes.
That's a cool one.
Yes. I had it. Like I had issues. I still do. I can't say certain months of the year, you know, for those issues. And my brother will also like. I saw him struggle, and I think like kids who have that issue, or even adults, they get made fun of a lot. And I feel like I'm like, if they got the help, they wouldn't be in this position, you know.
Mhm.
So those two.
Speech pathology. That's cool. I would have never known. Never known. Because you are a fantastic speaker. So
Thank you.
people that know you, and we all know this, right? There's things that about us that people just they don't get. They misunderstand. What do people misunderstand about you the most?
It depends on who you're speaking to, you know. Okay, so certain people, when I'm sitting alone, I look really mean. I do. I won't lie. But it's because, like, I'm in my world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So people, like, they tend to think I'm a mean person or, like, I have an attitude, but I don't. I'm just, if you approach me, I am pretty nice. So that's a big misunderstanding people have about me. And the other one is that, I think that's my biggest one, though.
People think you're unapproachable.
Yes. I look unapproachable, apparently.
You're definitely not. If you could go back in time, we got a DeLorean time machine. You can go back. Excuse me.
Hang in there.
What would you tell your high school self, your 9th or 10th grade self?
Can I make it 12th?
Yeah, you make it 12th grade. That's fine.
That everything is going to be okay. Just take it one step at a time. Everything is going to be okay. Because 12th grade year, I really got into my head. And I was very much negative Nancy. I really was. And I just didn't choose to see any positivity in anything, you know? And it was too bad, like for me, even mentally. But I will go back and tell myself, it's going to be okay. Take it one step at a time. Just relax.
Just relax.
You know.
I think we all probably needed that at some point or another.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. It came to pass.
It passed. Hallelujah.
Amen. Our coffee scene has recently changed in our area. It used to be the only option in Richlands was which McDonald's you're getting your coffee from. Now we do have coffee they're just starting to do it in the Eagle Cafe, but we did pick up a Starbucks. So I know you said that there are several drinks. Top 3, top 2, Starbucks drinks.
Strawberry frappe
Strawberry frap, okay.
with white mocha
Oh, okay.
and vanilla powder. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
I have to remember that one. I've not tried that before.
Okay. And then iced chai latte.
Iced chai latte.
Yeah.
So chai has been a big hit. Miss Lisa Haywood likes a dirty chai, which is a chai latte with a shot of espresso. Mr. Hess is a fan of the chai latte. I'm just going to throw a shameless plug in there. The Eagle Cafe has got a pretty good chai latte as well. That's dirty. I may have had.
You've had it before? Do you recommend it?
I do.
100%.
I will give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Why not a 10 out of 10?
Because it could have been in a bigger cup because it ran out too fast.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just be real. I could have drank more.
Copy that. Copy that. I'll have to try it myself.
And the prices are decent too. This is not on the script notes, but I've heard you do this before. Can you teach us how to say something in your native language? First off, what is your native language?
Kinyarwanda.
Okay. Was it hi that I learned or goodbye?
You learn by.
Learn. Yeah. we're going to put learned in great old big quotation marks.
Okay. Because
All
you
right.
don't remember it,
I
do
don't
you?
remember it.
I
No, no,
figured.
it's gone. It's gone. So teach me again
To say goodbye?
to say goodbye because
Mura-
we're getting ready to sign off in just a second.
Oh,
So
I see what you're doing here.
mhm.
Murabeho.
Say it again.
Mu,
Mu,
ra,
na,
ve,
be,
ho.
murabeho.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Good job.
Just became bilingual. Appreciate that.
One language doesn't. I mean, like one word in one language doesn't count.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure you can't survive on that.
I feel
If you went to
smarter, though.
Rwanda,
I feel smarter though.
good on you.
So one thing I do want to bring to folks' attention, if you are an international student and you come to Southwest, you have to pay. You don't get the in-state rate, obviously. And one place that our foundation could use some work, even though we are the largest foundation, one of the largest foundations in the state of Virginia, is on scholarships for international students. If any of our listeners out there in the community, if there's any alumni that would like to give back and specifically give to scholarships for international students, in the show notes will be a link to our giving page with our foundation, and I do welcome you to click on the link, go in. You can designate what you want to use or what you would like the money used for. You can help folks with stories, just like Cynthia's story, to find a future and in turn spread that joy that radiates off of her. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us with Talon Talk. And do you mind to say bye again?
How about you say it? Because I just taught you.
Would have been.
Very close. Murabeho.
Hey. No, I was off. I knew I was going to miss it.
It's Murabeho.
Murabeho.
Murabeho. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your time. Your time is a premium. Be sure to join us again on Talon Talk for the next episode, and we look forward to seeing you then.